Eating at chain restaurants used to feel safe, easy, familiar, and low risk. No matter where you were in the country, you knew exactly what you'd get. But times have changed. Some chains have stepped up their game, improving quality and service, while others are now running only on their name, leaving customers paying for disappointment. So, which ones still deserve your time and money? And which ones should you finally cross off your list? In this video, we're ranking the 10 biggest restaurant chains in the US from worst to best. Not based on ads or hype, but on real experiences, the food, the atmosphere, and how you feel walking out the door. And trust me, the chain that lands in the number one spot will leave you smiling in agreement, while the one at the very bottom will make you wonder, why have I been eating there all these years? Before we jump in, drop a comment with the chain you think deserves the last place. You might not be the only one thinking it. Also subscribe if you want to save yourself time, money, and frustration the next time you eat out. Number 10. Subway. Subway was once the gold standard for convenience, customization, and the illusion of healthier fast food. They even dubbed their employees sandwich artists, as if each sub deserved a place in a gallery. But today, disappointment shows up in every layer of the experience. The veggies, limp lettuce, washed out tomatoes, and cucumbers that look like they've endured a long, unrefrigerated road trip. The meats, so paper thin you could practically use them as tracing sheets. And the bread? Not even real bread in the eyes of the law. An Irish court ruled it contained too much sugar to legally carry the name. The whole build-your-own concept sounds empowering, but in reality it shifts the burden onto you, forcing customers to crafting flavor in a meal that should be satisfying from the start. And with more stores than any chain in the world, Subway can't mask its decline with sheer numbers. Every visit feels like rolling dice. You might get something passable, or you might walk away regretting you didn't just bring lunch from home. Subway's failure isn't a lack of ideas. It's their inability to deliver on the good ones. And in the food industry, that's the kind of mistake diners don't forgive. Next up, number 9. Red Lobster. The name Red Lobster paints a picture of fresh, upscale seafood enjoyed with a fresh ocean breeze. What's the truth, though? Most guests walk out thinking, I should have just come for the biscuits. And honestly, those Cheddar Bay biscuits, warm, buttery, garlicky little rolls, are the real star of the show. Many diners even think that they're Red Lobster's way of apologizing before the main course hits the table. As for the seafood, it's more freezer aisle than fresh catch. Fish, shrimp, even squid share the same mushy, lifeless texture, with flavors so faint they can only be described as tragically forgettable. The chain hides behind oversized portions, but nobody goes to a seafood restaurant just to eat a lot instead of eating well. What stings most are the prices, sky high, even for diners nowhere near the coast, yet still charged as if the ocean was just outside. The atmosphere tries to sell a seaside fantasy, with nautical lanterns, ocean blue walls, and paintings of sailboats. But one glance out the window at a strip mall parking lot, and the illusion collapses. Once considered a touch of class for middle-class families, Red Lobster today is remembered less for its seafood and more for the basket of free biscuits that starts the meal. 8. Applebee's. You probably never plan a trip to Applebee's, but chances are you've ended up there when every other option was closed. For years, it's been the reliable, safe bet for when you don't want to take any risks. The decor is an eclectic mix: vintage license plates, high school photos, random portraits, and sometimes even a tennis racket hanging from the ceiling. It's meant to feel welcoming, but more often it reads like a garage sale. The kitchen leans heavily on microwaves with many dishes, from soups to mains, falling into advanced thawing rather than freshly cooked. Even the grill marks on meats are often pre-printed before leaving the warehouse. Yet, amidst the mediocrity, Applebee's shines during half-price appetizer happy hour. Mozzarella sticks, chicken fries, salty, cheap, and satisfying. Applebee's doesn't excite, and it rarely frustrates. It lives in the middle, never good enough to actively choose, never bad enough to skip. You leave thinking, next time I'll try somewhere else, and yet, a month later, you somehow find yourself back. Let's talk about number 7. Olive Garden. Olive Garden is where Americans go when they say they want Italian, but really, they're looking for something familiar and filling. Pasta here often means noodles, buried under mountains of sauce and cheese, sometimes to the point where the noodles are nearly unrecognizable. Their motto seems to be, if the dish still holds its shape, just add more cheese. Where Olive Garden truly shines is in the prelude to the main course. Unlimited breadsticks and salad keep diners happy and comfortably full. The breadsticks, soft, warm, and perfectly garlicky, are almost flawless. The decor tries to evoke Tuscany but ends up feeling more like a charmingly themed daydream. Olive Garden won't transport you to Rome, but it delivers convenience, reasonable prices, and a reliable spot for family dinners or casual gatherings. Just don't arrive with sky-high expectations or an empty stomach. 6. Domino's Pizza. In the fast food world, it's almost unheard of for a chain to admit, "We messed up." Domino's did exactly that and turned it around. Once mocked for cardboard-like crusts and oddly sour sauce, they faced a real customer revolt. Instead of hiding or making excuses, they took responsibility and rebuilt their pizza from the ground up. Today, Domino's crust is soft with a crisp edge, the sauce rich and flavorful, the cheese perfectly stretchy, and the toppings consistently good. It's not gourmet, but it's genuinely satisfying. Beyond the pizza itself, Domino's has mastered convenience. From precise order tracking to a one-tap pizza app, the delivery experience feels seamless and reliable. Domino's might not serve the best pizza you've ever had, but they've shown that honesty, adaptability, and a willingness to improve can completely turn a brand around. Next up is our number 5 with Five Guys. At Five Guys, a so-called small fry means a paper bag spilling over with enough to feed a group, and nobody ever complains. They don't lure people in with coupons or specials. Instead, they win loyalty with never-frozen beef, soft fresh buns, and a toppings list that's always free. The burgers aren't dressed up with gimmicks, no limited-time flavors or fancy twists. Just beef, cheese, a bun, and up to 15 toppings to build your own perfect stack. While you wait, you can munch on complimentary peanuts, a nostalgic nod to when restaurants encouraged you to linger. The atmosphere is simple: red and white tiles, the sound of sizzling grills, and zero pretense. Five Guys isn't cheap or flashy, but it's straightforward. Every visit feels worth the price, not for flawless execution, but for honest, satisfying food made the right way. Number 4. Raising Cane's. In a world where restaurant menus keep expanding endlessly, Raising Cane's takes the opposite approach. They focus on one thing: fried chicken, no burgers, no tacos, no salads, just perfectly cooked chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, fresh lemonade, and their legendary Cane's sauce. And they do it so well, nothing else is needed. The chicken is golden and crispy on the outside, tender and juicy on the inside, never greasy, never dry. The fries are crisp yet soft, and the Texas toast comes perfectly buttered on both sides because one side simply isn't enough. Then there's Cane's sauce, a secret formula so addictive that diners find themselves dipping everything in it. Above all, Cane's is consistent. Whether you're in Texas or Ohio, the food tastes the same, always fresh, always satisfying. That unwavering focus is why Raising Cane's thrives where so many others stumble. 3. Shake Shack. This humble hot dog cart. Shake Shack started in New York, then grew into a chain where customers don't mind paying extra. The atmosphere is sleek and inviting, designed to make fast food feel like something more. Burgers show up looking like they belong in a commercial, and somehow taste even better, with soft, slightly sweet buns, perfectly seared patties, and vegetables that actually taste fresh. Even the fries have their own legend. Shake Shack once swapped out their signature crinkle cuts for hand-cut fries, only to face such a backlash that they had to bring the originals back. It proved that sometimes the simplest, most familiar option is what builds the strongest loyalty. Shake Shack makes no attempt to hide its higher prices. Instead, they earn them by serving food that feels thoughtful, deliberate, and crafted with care. Fast food elevated for people who expect more. 2. Chick-fil-A. At Chick-fil-A, the standout isn't only the chicken, it's the way you're treated. Their trademark reply, "My pleasure," has become part of the brand's legend. Paired with golden, crispy chicken sandwiches on soft, buttery buns, Chick-fil-A sets the bar high for what fast food can be. Even when the drive-thru snakes around the building, orders move quickly, accurately, and always with a genuine smile. And their unusual decision to close every Sunday only fuels the craving, making the food feel even more special when you finally get it. Chick-fil-A doesn't try to act upscale. They simply focus on delivering great food with exceptional hospitality. That commitment is what makes them not just popular, but truly iconic. Finally, 1. Texas Roadhouse. If dining out should feel like a celebration, Texas Roadhouse delivers. With country music blasting, servers breaking into line dances, and buckets of free peanuts, the place hums with energy. Then come the warm rolls with cinnamon butter, so irresistible you'll polish off half the basket before your entree even shows up. The steaks are consistently juicy, well-seasoned, and cooked exactly to order. Sides taste homemade, portions are generous, and prices stay surprisingly fair. What truly sets it apart is reliability. No matter if you're in Texas, Ohio, or anywhere else, the food and atmosphere rarely miss. Texas Roadhouse doesn't chase trends or pretend to be upscale. Instead, it embraces being the spot where friends and families gather to eat heartily and enjoy themselves. That's why it confidently claims the #1 spot. From the sandwiches at Subway to the rolls at Texas Roadhouse, every chain represents its own philosophy. As a diner, it's up to you to decide which ones deserve your time, your money, and your appetite. Don't fall back on routine. Seek out real quality, and every so often give an old favorite another chance. Which spot on this list caught you off guard? Do you keep going back to a place even though you know it's just okay? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your experience could guide someone else. And if this ranking made you look at dining out a little differently, make sure to like and subscribe.